Hi, everyone. What's going on when healing doesn't happen? When acute illness turns into chronic illness for months or years? When emotional distress continues on and on and on? What's happening there? Let's look at what healing is and what predisposes us in the direction of physical and emotional healing. And we need to start with what we mean by healing. Mostly the word to heal is interpreted to mean to be cured, to return to a state of health, of well-being that existed before the illness, before the distress, to return to what's considered to be normal. But the original root of the word to heal means to be made whole and complete. And what that means in this conversation here is to realize experientially, to know experientially that our true nature, the essence of our being, the truth of our being, is infinite, eternal presence, is pure essence, pure light, pure energy, which is unbroken and unbreakable. And the invitation, when there is dysregulation, a downgrading of physical health, or a disruption in emotional well-being, the invitation is to wake up, is to enter into a journey of allowing the dysregulation, the pain and the suffering of that, and the disruption emotionally, and the pain and suffering of that, to be a portal to realize, recognize, experience the unbreakable, pure essence of our being. And once this essence of our true nature is glimpsed, is sensed even for a second or less, there is a shift, a conscious shift of rooting into the truth of our being. And this integration and rooting into the truth of our being upwells into lived experience, daily life experience, as well-being, contentment, peace, and happiness, regardless of circumstances, regardless of what's happening in the body-mind in terms of biological health, regardless of the moods in the emotional spectrum passing through day to day. And so here, can you imagine for a moment if there's a chronic illness and there are efforts to try different treatment protocols, and there's ongoing pain, and there's ongoing inflammation and ongoing disruption, and yes, there's inconvenience, and yes, there can be physical pain. And yet, imagine that there's at the same time, there's a rootedness and a stability that arises from being rooted in the truth of our being, the unbroken wholeness and completeness of the true self, that expresses, upwells as aliveness, an infinite sense of security and well-being, regardless of the biological dysregulation. And you've probably seen people, know people, who are experiencing biological dysregulation, what we call sickness, illness, who may have experienced a tremendous emotional blow. And nevertheless, there's an aliveness that you see, even just a flicker. And people who can be in what's considered to be late-stage cancer can be perfectly happy and complete. It is possible. It is possible to experience being at peace, regardless of the circumstance of the mind-body system. And this doesn't mean that the peace that we are leads to denial or spiritual bypassing, that the body needs what it needs to recover, to repair. This rootedness in completeness and wholeness arises and upwells as intuition, as discernment, as clarity and insight about what the body needs to support the natural innate in healing intelligence that infuses the body-mind system. To be rooted in the truth of our being is and has a medicinal impact, a medicinal influence in the upwelling of insight and intuition about what the body-mind needs for repairing to happen, for restoration to happen, for regulation to happen, for the body-mind system to regulate and return to a self-regulated point on the spectrum of regulation and dysregulation, to return to a point on that spectrum that is healing mode, where living through the experience of illness is a journey of healing as opposed to a journey of hurting happening, of an improvement over time. This capacity to allow sickness and illness to be a wake-up call, to have access to insight and intuition, is where our journey, our healing journey, becomes unique. Where what's called for is to not be afraid, to be in the driving seat of your own healing journey, as opposed to handing over your healing journey to experts, handing over your healing journey to a cookie-cutter protocol. Instead, to be in the driving seat of your healing journey, so that you sit with possibilities, protocols, medications, treatments, and you sit with experts, and you sit there as an equal, where you know best for your body, where you're not afraid to make your own decisions about your healing journey, and hopefully find experts and practitioners who are not afraid to sit with you as an equal and have a conversation about the treatment protocol, where you feel and you experience your own intuition being respected, and your own knowing to supersede, to be more authentic a guide than a cookie cutter protocol. This is the frontier of medicine, where the rootedness in the truth of your being allows clarity and discernment. To help identify, recognize what the uniqueness of your body-mind system needs to nurture and support the natural healing intelligence that exists to operate fully and optimally. And not be afraid to claim that intelligence, that knowledge on the healing journey.